Hello, Grapperinos, and welcome to another exciting episode of Probably Next Week on Smackdown. I'm Bryon, and once again, I'm joined by a man who is indifferent about Australia. Mike? Say hi, Mike.
Jeez. Okay. It's better than Saudi Arabia, I guess.
I was gonna say, you don't have
I'm
strong
not a fan
opinions
of
about
the
Australia.
time zone, though. I'm not a fan of the time zone. The fact that it's taking place at like 8 a.m. is kind of wild.
Yeah. You
So,
wake up
but hey,
and it's
I like
starting.
it. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna wait all day for it. It's just starting right then and there. So
For sure. Yeah.
it means if you want to watch the pre-show on the East Coast, you have to wake up at 7 a.m.
Oh yeah. That's like workday hours. That's when you wake up
and then
you go to work.
Raw is the same time. So Raw is at 8 a.m., which is when I start work. It is Monday morning Raw.
Yum yum yum.
Very very interesting. Yes.
I think there are holidays. I think it's a U.S. holiday on Monday as well. So if you have a U.S.
Oh, that's
holiday,
right. It is. Yes. Thank you, Brian.
if you have it off, then yeah, it's a great morning treat for you, I guess. But yes, we are heading into Crown Jewel. It's on Australia. We're gonna book the go home show for Crown Jewel Perth on SmackDown, and we are going to do it as always. We're gonna book it according to these rules. You can see the rules right here, and we will tell you our predictions and bookings for the next show here. And after that, we will watch the actual episode of SmackDown emanating from Perth, and we are going to score our predictions and bookings based on this scoring system. And we are going to tell you our points on the next episode of the show. So, let's get to the points from last week. I didn't really. This should actually be 6. I don't know why I got 12. I think I may have miscounted because I'm pretty sure I got the appearances from Division and Cody right. And then I think I got Alistair and Sammy on the show. And then that's about it, I think. I don't know where I got the other points from, but I'm gonna assume that I got the Division and Cody right in terms of appearances, and then Alistair and Sammy. However, Mike got 20 points, which is wild. Man was cooking. Man was cooking. Care to comment on your victory here for 20 points?
Where did you get 20 points from?
You told me it was 20 points, right?
I told you it was 12.
Am I dumb? Hold on.
Damn.
Did I mess up the scoring points section? Oh no.
I will take the free 8 points, but
What? I think I got amnesia, and this is how we got here. I got amnesia and thought I would put the points. You know what? Let's lock this in. Let's lock this in. 28-19. I'm fine with
nice.
that, I guess.
Well, I love the free 8 points. Okay, so beyond Brian giving me 8 free
Fuck
points, I did correctly predict the Tiffany Stratton and Vicaire contract signing. And I also correctly predicted that Sol Ruca and Zara would show up on SmackDown as well.
Wild.
Yes.
Wild prediction, but it came through. Alright. Well, let's take a look at what is announced. Fortunately, we have most of the show booked for us. We got Wyatt 6. Yeah, it's very good. Wyatt 6 versus Street Profits for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We got the next, I suppose, challenger segment, next part of the United States Open Challenge from Sami Zayn. We have Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaqueros. They take on Julia and Kiana James. And then we have a last man standing match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. So, without further ado, let's book this thing. Get to my version of the show first. As the Vision walk to the ring. Specifically, we're gonna have Paul Heyman walk out. Paul Heyman talks about the match for Crown Jewel. He says that, well, you know what Seth said on Monday? He has to win the match against Cody. He thinks that Cody is no match for Seth. Seth is the future of the industry, the future of this company, and he has to beat Cody for that to happen. And, he just waxes on poetically about how Seth is going to beat Cody at Crown Jewel. And then we're going to have Cody come out. And Cody says, wait a minute. You said something on Monday that seemed quite peculiar to me. He asks him to repeat what he said to Seth on Monday when Seth asked him, what happens if I lose the match? What will happen to you, Paul Heyman? And Paul kind of reiterates it mostly, but he changes the topic quickly to Cody watching his back. We're gonna have Braun and Bronson come out, try to ambush Cody as they come from the other side of the arena to the ring. Cody readies himself, and we have a little brawl. And then we're gonna have, because I'm pretty sure everyone for Crown Jewel is on Perth already, or at Perth, I should say. We're just gonna have Roman come out, build up his match against Bronson Reed. He's gonna take out Bronson Reed, and maybe take out Braun as well. They're gonna brawl outside, and then we're gonna have Cody get ambushed by Seth, but Cody puts him in a crossroads and is on top after that segment. Yes, I am gonna have Cody go over because I think Seth Rollins is going to win the match against Cody Rhodes. And yeah, I don't think Cody will win. I honestly think Seth will beat Cody. And this can kind of move on to War Games, I suppose, where we can have a little bounce back. But I guess if Cody wins, it'll be a surprise to me, I think. But the War Games match is definitely going to be the actual sort of end point for this feud, I suppose, between the two. I think this is just the beginning. It's definitely going to move on to War Games and escalate from there. But we're going to move on from that to the tag team match. And we're going to have the Wyatt Six win by pinfall. No surprise there. After the match, we're going to have Montez and Angelo talk and seemingly sort of hug it out. They're still kind of a tag team, They're going to walk back, be kind of friendly. And then, before they even set foot at the back, Angelo just attacks Montez Ford from the back and beats him up. We're going to have the whole, DIY NXT breakup kind of deal angle. And we're going to have the Street Profits kind of break up a bit. And the Wyatt Six are going to laugh. As for their next challengers, I have no idea. I mean, there are a couple of tag teams out there that are kind of good. Like the Motor City Machine Guns, I guess. Praxium. Like, there are a couple of good tag teams out there who are next for them. Such a shame that Andrade had to go out, but whatever. But I think the Wyatt Six are going to win here. Street Profits are going to have to go bye-bye. And the next tag team, who knows? It could be pretty deadly. I don't know. But it remains to be seen. But we're going to move from that to Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer versus Julia and Kiana James. And I am going to have the babyfaces win by Tiffany rolling up Julia. Or sorry, not Julia. Kiana James. We're going to have her roll up Kiana James while looking at Stephanie. As in, I'm going to pin you, Stephanie, this Saturday at Crown Jewel. After the match, Stephanie tries to go for, a handshake. She's just here for the competition. But Tiffany shakes her head. She's going to show some heel tendencies so that, she doesn't come off as a bland character like she is now. And she's going to go on back. However, because Jade Cargill is kind of featured on the show, we're gonna have Jade Cargill come out and attack her, and I think they'll fuel their War Games match, or not the women's War Game match, but the match at Survivor Series. That's probably the next rivalry again. We're gonna run back Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton, I guess, on the SmackDown side. So we might as well start the build there. And yeah, I'm gonna guess that Tiffany and Stephanie win. Unless they do the whole story about them not gelling well together. So, they lose the match. And then Julia and Kiana James go haha and beat them up. But I don't think it's gonna happen. You might as well build Stephanie and Tiffany up. And yeah, get Jade there somewhere, I guess. Moving on to The Miz having a promo. That's right. I will have The Miz come out and cut a promo because the only consistent thing in SmackDown that's kind of noteworthy is The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. At least in my opinion. So we're going to have The Miz come out, talk about the attack on Carmelo Hayes last week while doing that US Open Challenge. He says it's for the best because Carmelo has been holding him down, and it's time for him to go at it himself after a championship that he deserves, and that is the United States Championship. He heard Sami Zayn issue an open challenge again, online, I guess. Accepts his challenge. So, Sami Zayn, get the hell into the ring and let's do this thing, says The Miz. And we're going to have Sami Zayn come out. Sami Zayn, kind of admonishes The Miz a bit. And he says that, how could you let go of a talent like Carmelo? And that you are, as always, out for yourself. But just to prove that you are not awesome, I'm going to accept the challenge and beat your ass. And that is the next match. Sami Zayn versus The Miz for the US Championship. And I'm going to have Carmelo distract The Miz and cost The Miz his time as a US champion because Sami Zayn is going to win the match because of this distraction from Carmelo Hayes. And I guess we'll do The Miz versus Carmelo Hayes at Survivor Series or Saturday Night's main event. I don't know, but I think that's what is going to happen unless they pick someone else. But I think Carmelo and The Miz is the only sort of ongoing storyline on SmackDown that's built up week to week. And we might as well continue that. And we're going to move on from that to the main event. Damian Priest versus Aleister Black in a last man standing match. Aleister Black wins. As I pitched way before. I pitched this match last week, and now it's happening this week. So, oh well. Aleister Black wins, as I said previously, and we can put him on the US title picture. I forgot who. Oh, yeah, it's Sami Zayn. It's Sami Zayn. Yeah, Sami Zayn can go after Aleister Black, I suppose, for the US title. Get that rematch again. And we're gonna have Damian Priest. I don't know. He can go on another mid card feud with Jacob Fatu or something. Maybe with Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, I suppose, because I don't know where the hell Road Dogg is putting these people. And that's it. That is the show. Any questions?
So you have Miz challenging for the US title in the show. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that it might be Obafemi. They're going to bring him up. But I think that makes more sense. Maybe even more sense than what I had, because this was really hard. Even though a lot of these segments were already booked, the way that they've been, mixing brands, it just makes it really difficult to understand what's going to happen. Because they'll have a Smackdown and they'll be like, guess what? It's gonna be Cody Rhodes, but also Jey Uso, but also Randy Orton, but also CM and Punk, and it's like, but why and how?
I feel like SmackDown doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, is it like a Raw recap show, or is it? Because I'm pretty sure they have their own roster, so why not use it? You know, like you have your own
They
cycle of people, but then you rely on NXT and Raw people for some of your build. Like, why?
I think they were lacking a lot, and that's why they brought in a couple NXT people to sort of inject some life into the brand. It really is amazing how hard the Wyatt Six have tanked the tag team division. Like, the tag team division was super hot coming off of WrestleMania and that 6-pack ladder match, and it just fell off a cliff after the Wyatt Six got the titles because they never defend them, and all the tag teams just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Julia. So I mean, we have some.
Oh God, she needs to lose a title like fast, man. She hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
I openly laughed. I openly laughed when Kiana James came out and she was like, "My client is the superstar on SmackDown," and I'm like, "Your client hasn't shown up for like a month."
Oh man. No, I. So we have Julia, who hasn't defended. Wyatt Six haven't defended until now. Cody is a part timer. Kind of right now. I think Cody is a part timer. Like, the only guy that's active is Sami Zayn. Like, Sami Zayn as the U.S. champion is the only person who defends his title week to week, which is just insane. But then again, the U.S. Championship is a mid card title, so I mean, you might as well defend it week to week. But for the women's U.S. Championship to not be defended every week, like, why? even like the U.S. Not the U.S. The top title on SmackDown doesn't even get defended. Instead, Cody is fighting Seth for a useless ring. But I don't know. I just think SmackDown is kind of directionless most of the time. It's just not great. But it is what it is, I suppose. And yes, I'm gonna have The Miz show up. Any other questions?
Nope, I think I'm ready for my card.
Alright, let's get to your card. Starting off with.
So I'm starting off with Cody Rhodes because it is SmackDown. It is a go home show. Almost guaranteed we're gonna get Cody coming out to open the show. He hypes the match between him and Seth for tomorrow. Seth, per usual, interrupts the promo with the Vision in tow. They come down trying to attack Cody before the match tomorrow, but Jey Uso interrupts and he lays out Braun Breaker. And then there's a brawl that ensues. Why do I have Jey Uso on this show? Well, I don't know if Brian was feeding me misinformation or not, but I guess he looked at the ticket website for the arena that they're going to be in, and I don't know if they've leaked this or if this is like misinformation and Brian is trying to feed me some bad info.
I will clarify. That
Yes.
info is both for SmackDown and Raw, because they're also gonna have Raw on that same building on Monday, I think. So.
No. Hold on. It says Wyatt Six versus the Street Profits plus from Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Jey Uso, Braun Breaker. So to me that sounds like they're going to be on this show, like from Monday Night Raw, not on Monday Night Raw. It says from Monday Night Raw, and This is for SmackDown. That was my thinking as to why my card is so large, because I put those matches in here. But I could be wrong, but I also could be right, because they don't give a fuck about the brand split anymore.
No, not this time.
No, they don't. No. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's what happens.
All right. Well, Again, it's a Raw recap show. I got no questions. Moving on to
We have the aforementioned Jey Uso Braun Breaker match. Um, this is a bleed over from the promo, and Breaker wins thanks to Bronson Reed interfering, and then Roman Reigns comes down to help out Jey Uso, and then Jey. They kind of have that awkward face off again, where they're like, "Oh, I don't need you. I need your help." And Roman's like, "Come on, man." He gives you that kind of weird face where he's like, "Man, what are you doing?" So, I don't know if this is right, but I am probably wrong, and you are probably right because this is an Australian website. I mean, they spelled Io Sky wrong. They said Ivy Sky.
Yep,
So Lord knows that this is probably incorrect.
Ivy Sky takes on Eri Sane or whatever.
It was Ivy Sky.
Ivy Sky. I love Ivy Sky. She's a great professional wrestler. But yeah, okay. I don't really have anything. I mean, again, this feels like Raw already. But
Yes. Yep.
anyway, moving on to
Okay. Next on the show is U.S. Title Open Challenge: Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is featured for this show. I think Jacob Fatu shows up trying to get his title back, and he loses thanks to interference, maybe interference, more like a distraction from Drew McIntyre. And then Drew, after the match, kind of taunts Jacob, and also looks and stares at Sammy as well. Maybe he wants to go for the title. But this, I think, furthers the meaningless feud that Jacob is having with Drew. I'm not sure why they continue to feed Drew these meaningless mid-card feuds, but whatever.
yeah.
Gotta
I
give
don't
him
know
something
either.
to do, I guess.
Yeah. I honestly think this is probably gonna go until Survivor Series, right? Probably. Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. And then what's next for Drew McIntyre? Is he finally gonna go against Cody? Is he?
I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he does, yes.
Yeah. Because otherwise, like that win at WrestlePalooza that Cody had, to me, is kind of the wrong decision. But whatever. Well, actually, not wrong because I guess you had to do Seth versus Cody, but then again, the story might benefit in terms of like playing it out instead of having Cody retain. I don't know. It just seems wrong to me a bit, but whatever. Drew is stuck in the mid card. Moving on to
Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Now, the more that I look at this card, Ryan, I think you're right. I think this is gonna be on Raw, and these fucking idiots just didn't do the right thing.
Oi,
But
Mike,
whatever.
why
I don't
we
lose any
include the
points.
Raw to the Smackdown?
I don't lose any points for booking the Raw for guessing incorrectly.
Yeah,
So whatever. I theoretically could book everybody on every show and get some points, but you know, this was actually a very last minute thing. I went on and I was like, "Fuck, I should probably do this," because they said it. Now I'm not going to trust these sites anymore. They're
let this
they're
be
liars.
a lesson. Let this be a lesson.
I'm assuming what happens here is that there's some sort of backstage segment where they basically get into an altercation, and then this is sort of Rhea and Io's first go, and I think that they win by a pinfall because again I think that Io Sky turns heel on Crown Jewel against Rhea and joins the Kabuki Warriors. So this is to set them up to lose because they always win on the go home show when they're going to lose in the pay per view. That's a very classic tell.
Yeah. You think Strad and or sorry, not Oh my god, I was looking at the wrong thing. do you think? Do you think that Rhea and Io are next after Sol Ruka and Zarya take on what are their names?
I don't know
Charlotte.
if Solruka and Zarya are going to be taking on Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I don't know if that was confirmed, but I think they might be. Maybe. I don't know who else you would give to the tag team champions. Like, I don't know who else would really be a contender. So maybe if Liv comes back.
Yeah. I think maybe put Raquel and Roxanne up against Charlotte and have they done that already? This is how I
They
may have
did because that's who they won the titles from. Yes.
Oh, right. So I guess Rhea and Io should be next, right? Like, what other women tag teams are there? Kabuki Warriors, I guess.
Kabuki Warriors, Soul Ruka, and Zara. Yeah.
What a division, huh? What a division. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, what a match. Raw again. Moving on to
Uh, Stratton and Vaquer versus Julia and Kiana James. Kiana James is basically a jobber, so I don't think they win here. Um, I think Tiffany gets ambushed after the match with Nia Jax. By Nia Jax, Vaquer leaves because she's like, oh, well, I don't fucking want to help her because I want to win tomorrow. And then Jade Cargill runs down the ramp to save Tiffany from Nia Jax. So
you just love putting Nia Jax in these
because Road
cards.
Dogg loves putting Nia Jax in these cards. Do you know how many times he has thrown Nia Jax into a feud to sort of inject heat? It's like
Yeah.
a lighter fluid. It's like, yeah, she gets easy heat because she's a big bad person.
Yeah, do you also want people getting their head split open and stuff? Put Nia Jackson, sure, why not?
It's like Goldberg, man. She gets heat, but it's a risk. There's a risk you run of getting the opposing superstar injured. So it's like, yeah, you'll get a great pop and you'll get a lot of people in the seats, but you might also suffer a concussion. So
Road Dogg is like, I'm gonna get Nia over, goddammit, by any means necessary. Oh man. All right. Well, we're gonna move on from that unfortunate thing to
the WWE Tag Team Championship match between the Wyatt Six and the Street Profits. I think the Wyatt Six retain, unfortunately, and I think the Street Profits have a break up after the match due to miscommunication or some sort of disagreement between Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. If the Street Profits win, and this was all for nothing, I want the Wyatt Six banished from every single show for the entirety of their lives because this was probably the most pointless angle of all time. And
Okay.
I've watched WCW in 2000 where basically every angle was pointless. This was incredibly. I don't know if you watched the segment last week where they were sitting backstage getting an interview about them being brothers and whatnot, and then the Wyatt Six pop up and like a VCR, even though it was an HDTV, and a VCR like video on the TV, and the two Street Profits guys just stood there like completely
Yeah.
blank expressions, looking at the TV. Just
Yeah.
like so awkward, just like standing there like just completely blank, like what Angelo Dawkins is looking like in this photo. You're just standing
Yeah.
there looking at the TV like this the entire time.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I I don't know why like the mid card storylines are so crap. Like every single mid card storyline is just utter crap. I guess it's because they're just focusing on the main eventers. Like we're gonna put the story on Cody and Seth. We're gonna put the story on Brock Lesnar and Division and all that. But they neglect to put any fucking story to any of these other guys on the mid card, and it's just like, why do we care? Why should people care if there's a match like this happening on SmackDown? It's just a shame, really.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. Sure. Who do you think is next, Mike? After Street Profits?
I'm gonna guess DIY probably.
Yeah. Are they the next one to break up?
Yeah,
the Wyatt Six breaks them up. Oh man, what a shame. Anyway, let's end this thing with the main event.
Last man standing match between Aleister Black and Damian Priest. I think Damian Priest wins this because for some reason Road Dogg has a hard on for Damian Priest.
He's bisexual Undertaker, I guess.
He is the bisexual Undertaker.
He loves that.
I think this pushed him back into the title contention, maybe for the U.S. title, probably, but more probably for the championship. But yeah, what happens to Aleister Black after this? I don't know. I think he just kind of goes onto the U.S. title picture and probably takes it from Sami Zayn. So,
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. You also have Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline just sitting there. Like what do you even put them in? Where do you even put Solo and the Bloodline in? Oh, also, I don't know if you've heard, Javon Evans is signed to SmackDown, so he has moved up from NXT. He's in the main roster now.
Ray Phoenix, I think.
Yeah.
He's with Ray Phoenix to replace Andrade. So,
what a nice solution.
He showed a lot of energy, so I think he'll be good.
Yeah. The crowd likes him, so he should be fine. But man, yeah. I don't even know where you put these two after. So, as I said, SmackDown is kind of directionless. But it is what it is, I guess. And with that, I guess that's it. That's what we have. We're going to watch the next episode of SmackDown. And after that, we are going to tell you what we got on the next episode of this show. So until then, thank you for ordering a blue cheese pizza called Probably Next Week on SmackDown from Grapperinos. And remember, if you are down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, stop on by Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you next time, Grapperinos!